e4, c5, c3, knight f6, e5, knight d5, d4, c takes d4, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, e6, c takes d4, d6, short castle, bishop e7, queen e2, short castle, queen e4, a6, a3, b5, bishop d3, g6, bishop h6, rook e8, knight bd2, bishop b7, rook fe1, knight b6, bishop f1, rook c8, queen f4, knight d5, queen g4, d takes e5, d takes e5, knight b8, rook ac1, knight d7, h4, rook takes c1, rook takes c1, queen b8, rook e1, queen c7, bishop d3, knight c5, bishop b1, f5, e takes f6, knight takes f6, queen d4, queen d6, bishop g5, queen takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop d5, rook c1, knight a4, knight c6, king f7, knight e5 check, king g8, knight c6, king f7, knight takes e7, rook takes e7, b3, knight b6, f3, rook b7, bishop d3, knight bd7, king f2, knight e5, bishop e2, knight c6, king e3, knight e7, g4, rook d7, bishop takes f6, king takes f6, knight e4 check, king g7, knight c5, rook a7, bishop d3, king f7, bishop e4, a5, bishop takes d5, knight takes d5 check, king d4, knight b6, knight d3, a4, knight e5 check, king f6, b4, knight d7, g5 check, king f5, knight c6, rook a6, king e3, e5, knight e7 check, king e6, knight c8, knight b8, rook c7, rook c6, rook e7 check, king d5, knight a7, rook c3 check, king f2, rook takes a3, rook takes h7, e4, f takes e4 check, king takes e4, knight takes b5, rook b3, h5, rook b2 check, king g3, king f5, knight d4 check, King takes g5. Knight f3 check. King f6. h6. Rook takes b4. Rook a7. Rook b5. Knight h2. Rook h5. Knight g4 check. King e6. Rook takes a4. Knight d7. Rook a6 check. King f7. Rook a7. Rook d5. h7. King g7. Knight f6. Rook d1.